Oh, yeah. You know, I love my beat. I absolutely positively love my beat. This is the draft party. The music is literally perfect for what we're about to do. I am so excited. You may notice a few changes as I get ready to tweak everything for our draft show. You know, there is a lot of draft shows that'll be going on. You'll have former football players, and you'll have ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, and all that. You know, there will be plenty of content for you to watch. But, you know, I like to think that I'm going to bring you guys something a little bit different. First, you guys are going to be the live studio audience here, zooming in, channel members, any of you that are channel members will be able to be part of the conversation. You know, I'm going to have my man DMV up in here. I'm going to have actually maybe a surprise, a earth-shattering, beat you down type of guest host that may be sitting over here. This is why I'm kind of tweaking the whole set right here. And you know what I'm really trying to do? I'm really trying to stretch this opening out because I just love this beat so much. We're almost to the end of it, but you know, I got to get it all in. But we are going to have a ball here during the draft night. We'll be checking in on other YouTubers, seeing their live reaction to how their pick is going, and hopefully we'll see Philly 500 meltdown. So today was an interesting day, to say the least. And like I said, I've been tweaking the set, so I'm going to try and play something on the end just to see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't get, copyrighted or anything, but we'll see what happens. You, are you guys hearing? What the heck is that? Hold up. I, I don't know what that was. I really just don't know where that came from. But anyway, let me get back to it. Boy, you know, broke ass media, we have all kinds of problems. Okay, so earlier today we found out that Sean Lee is retiring. And for me, I loved Sean Lee as a player. I wish Sean Lee could have stayed healthy, but unfortunately, his hamstrings, his knees, his body just failed him. Leadership wise, he was truly a leader on the field. Not one of those vocal leaders out there, but he led by example. And I dare say between him and Tyrone Crawford both leaving, that we're going to have a leadership void, especially on that defensive side of the ball. Because as I look right now, the leader of the defense, I would have to say, is DeMarcus Lawrence. Currently, he's one of the most tenured players on the defense, but I'm not sure that he is the guy that everybody will rally around. And we'll go into this more tonight during our live stream when we're less than 2 hours away from that. But I like getting my evening Dallas Cowboys update. And this is where we really need that guy that will get into people's faces and let them know when they're screwing up, fire people up, and also, sometimes pat you on the back. And I'm not sure if that person is on this roster just yet. I look at a guy like a Demario Davis, who instantly came to New Orleans and immediately day one became that emotional leader for that defense. And I'm hoping that the Dallas Cowboys have sights on somebody who may be that. Maybe it's somebody we end up drafting. Now, draft-wise, we know New England has been making calls within the top 10. Now, within the top 10, of course, the Dallas Cowboys are there. We don't know if the Cowboys were one of those calls, but apparently they're thinking we need to find our quarterback of the future. We're okay with Cam right now, but maybe we can get that guy on the roster that we deem a player that we can develop for the future. Now, back to the Dallas Cowboys as far as on the defensive side. Leighton Vander Esch, when healthy, when 100% healthy, has been an outstanding linebacker, especially his rookie year. But unfortunately, he has been nicked up. Now, the Cowboys have until sometime in May to take the fifth-year option on him, basically locking him down for one more year at a reasonable rate before you end up doing a long-term deal. If they do not do that after the end of this year, he is a free agent or somebody you could put a franchise tag or transition tag on him. But right now, they're saying they're going to wait until after the draft. before they end up doing anything as far as his 5th-year option. And that may be for a couple of reasons. Well, and there's a lot of different dynamics that are going right now. One will be is how the draft falls. It could be that you end up getting a linebacker that's a young guy that you feel, okay, he'll be able to take over for Van Der Esch. Or it could be that the Dallas Cowboys are trying to develop a different defense. And this we may have gotten a hint of with Stephen Jones earlier today when he talked about the position that he played. You know, I played nose guard. And being a nose guard, I'm always looking out for that guy in the middle. I keep pounding my table and wanting that guy in the middle that we just don't seem to get. And Stephen Jones talked about being basically a rover, which is kind of a hybrid, okay? You know, some people will say a tweener, which means you're kind of in between positions. And the rover is a linebacker / safety. You know, you're not really as big per se as a traditional linebacker, but you may not be quite as fast as a traditional D-back. You're kind of in between. You're great at run support, but you can also cover guys. And that kind of makes sense because you look at a Keanu O'Neal, brought in because they said he's going to be a linebacker. And we may be looking at more 2 linebacker sets where basically we end up having more defensive backs in there to cover the wide receivers. Now, this sounds great in theory, but in my mind, and this goes back to knowing what I know, you know, or being that position guy who loves the defensive nose guard or nose tackle, the one technique as they call it now. You know, I'm old school. Nose guard is what I was called. But if you are going to rely on a defense that's going to be predicated on 2 linebackers and basically, you know, the more defensive backs, you have got to get a guy who will clog up the middle. And I'm hoping, again, where they're waiting till after the draft to make a decision on Leighton Van Der Esch's 5th-year option, I'm hoping that they're waiting as well until after May 3rd, which is next week, to sign some veterans, a guy like a Sheldon Richardson. I know I've been pounding the table about him, but that's the type of guy who can clog up the middle. And if you're going to go with these hybrid rover safety linebackers, you need a big guy in the middle. Your defensive line has got to stop the run. And that has been the problem for our defense forever. So we'll see if that happens or not. And that's where we are with the Dallas Cowboys as far as what's going on at the moment. But I want to try, again, I'm still playing with the set here. I think the monitor over here works for a couple of reasons. One, the sun is kind of behind it, so this is actually blocking some more of the sun. But if I have 3 hosts here, then we can all be here without blocking the screen. And I'm going to do a little test here. This is going to go old school, and we're going to see. Because this is the type of guy that we need on our defense right now. We need a guy who's relentless and will wreak havoc on other teams. So let's take a look at one of the Dallas Cowboys greats.
Game day, this meek, humble person turned into a monster. I mean, he was ferocious on game day. And he scared me. I've never been afraid of anything. And Randy White scared me.
The ominous music. I love this. I hope this works well. What a beast. Yeah, get Ron Jaworski. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at this. Boom. Get Bradshaw. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Nasty. Nasty. Ooh. My heart is just accelerating right now. Look at that. Look at that. You can't stop him. God. That'd be a penalty now, by the way. Oh, they still going? Man, this is a long video. Look, that, my friends, is what a man in the middle can do for your defense. We need pressure coming up the middle. And if the Cowboys are thinking about this hybrid defense, you've got to stop the guys in the middle. I'm not saying that there's a Randy White out there, and Randy White was not a one technique or a nose tackle, but you can see what I'm talking about, power-wise, what this does for you. Unbelievable. Never, ever gives up. Okay, well, with that being said, it's time for me to get ready for my live stream, and you're up to date with the Dallas Cowboys for what's been happening today on Monday during draft week. Guys, I have been preaching, yelling, screaming, begging, pleading for the Dallas Cowboys to recognize how important that man in the middle, how much that defensive line changes defense. And when you get a guy in the middle that can wreak havoc, which we have not had in a long time. Briefly, you could say a David Irving did from the tackle position. But when you can get a guy that can push that pocket, that can make the quarterback literally piss down their leg, guys, you got something special. And that, my friends, is a leader on defense, because when you see a quarterback get jacked up like Ron Jaworski just did right there, when you see an incredible stop, that breeds energy from everybody else around you. That makes everybody else fly into the football. That, my friends, is leadership that this team needs. So with that being said, you know what time it is. Coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe for the Sports Report.
Just one hell of a job, and the only thing I'm saying I got to say is,
How about them Cowboys? Yeah.